for a second.
Bloody hell. Alright.
That's the end of your mock test.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Alright.
Feeling okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So, based on that drive there today,
Yeah.
so we've got the mock test. So what we're going to do is we'll do about 35 to 40 minutes of driving, which is what the mock test will be.
My line's up first time, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad. What we'll do is we'll take in normal driving conditions and normal road types, just like we would in a mock test.
Okay.
For those 30 to 40 minutes, I will be your examiner. So anything that happens during the test that you say, do or ask, I will try and respond how your examiner might respond in a test, just to kind of give you that sort of full example of what would happen. During the mock test, we're going to do about 20 minutes of independent driving. We'll do one reversing manoeuvre, and we might do an emergency stop. So just all the sort of things that we will have practiced, all the bits that might happen in a driving test. At all times, follow the road ahead, unless you're directed by road signs or any traffic markings that might be different. And if I need you to turn left or right, I'll give you plenty of notice.
Alright, cool.
Sound all right?
Yeah.
Perfect stuff. Any questions before we get going?
All good.
All good. Perfect. Okay. So, starting from now, I am your examiner. So I'm going to start with your tell me question. Okay. So, can you tell me how you would check that your power assisted steering works correctly before you start your journey?
If the wheel is easy to move and it's,
Perfect. Yeah, so the wheel should be nice and easy. And it shouldn't be stiff or heavy or difficult. So absolutely spot on. Cool. So when you're safe and ready, we're going to drive on and we'll begin from here. Okay, so firstly, thank you so much for just watching this video. Even if you've got this far in, I really appreciate you. Please don't forget to drop us a follow, because that is massively appreciated as always, and I do respect and appreciate every single one of you that has clicked that follow button. So, getting into this mock test, this is my first full-length mock test that I've uploaded, so please be kind in the comments. But this is Josh. I'm going to be playing the role of sort of stern, silent examiner throughout this test, meaning I'm not going to chat to him too much. I'm giving him the sort of treatment as if the examiner wasn't going to be giving him too much interaction. What I'll also be doing during the course of the video is I will be explaining all of his driving faults, so anything that crops up during the test I will give you a little bit more detail around, just so you can understand and you can avoid making those mistakes. Okay, at the traffic lights I'd like you to turn left, please. Some of the traffic lights during the video do take about a minute to flip, so I have kind of shortened it down as you're about to see. Boom, there we go, and we're off again. So that's just where we're stationed with the lights. Didn't think you really needed to see us sat at lights for too long.
During the, do you just like sit in the test centre during the thing, or what do you do?
Yeah, I'll wait in the test centre.
Oh, okay. It's only 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah. Okay, when we get to the roundabout, I'd like to take the third exit towards Gosport, please. Turning right towards Gosport, third exit. So just a quick note, this is the Peel Common roundabout, and we're going third exit towards Gosport. Notoriously one that people get a little confused with. Josh handles this really well. His observations are good as he approaches the roundabout, and he chooses the correct lane. There are a couple of routes you can take around this roundabout. He stays in the right lane at the moment, which is absolutely perfect because he's staying to the right of those white dots. Now here he's got the option of splitting into the middle or staying right. he opts for staying to the right hand lane, which is fine because it does also go towards Gosport. It then puts him into the middle lane as he comes round towards his exit. Now preferably you want to be on the left here, but that's not too much of a bother. All it means is that you're going to have to merge back in once you exit the roundabout. Now this is where Josh gets his first driving fault. He's paying good attention to his left hand side, ready to merge back in, but he does take his eyes off of that white Nissan in front just temporarily, which means he gets pretty close and has to brake a little bit late. I've given him a driving fault for planning and anticipation there. Although his observations to merge back in were good, he does take his eyes off of the car in front and he needs to leave a little bit more room there. It wasn't dangerous, it wasn't that serious, I didn't have to use dual controls, but he did brake a little bit late. Now this traffic queue was a little bit long, couple of minutes, so I have cut it down a little bit. You'll see the video just jump slightly in a second, but it's just going to allow us to get the video rolling. You don't really, again, need to see us sat in this traffic, so let's just skip a couple of seconds ahead. Okay, I'd like you to take the next road on the left, please. Really good awareness here by Josh. He rechecks that left mirror just before merging across into that left-hand lane. Super important because when you're sat in traffic for a while, you can get cyclists and other vehicles come up alongside you. So great observations. Okay, I'd like you to pull up somewhere safe on the left-hand side along here. Anywhere by these trees is fine. Yeah, so Josh is using his mirrors really nicely here to position himself by the curb. He does stop in time for the driveway, but unfortunately he leaves it in gear before coming off the clutch, so he does do a little cheeky stall. Okay, thank you very much. You can drive on again whenever you feel safe and ready to do so. Wait for a second. Okay, pull away when you're ready. Now Josh just has picked up a serious fault, unfortunately. He did some great initial observations before pulling away from the side of the road, but he failed to recheck his mirrors once he was moving off. He also didn't put his signal on. Just as he was moving off, a BMW comes up from behind pretty quickly, and I've had to ask him to stop and dual control. This causes the serious fault for moving off safely. Okay, at the roundabout we're going to be taking the first exit, turning left. Now Josh should have checked his mirrors again here before signalling, approaching the roundabout. I've given him a driving fault for mirrors when signalling, so unfortunately that is his third driving fault so far. road ahead. Now I've just given him another driving fault here. He doesn't check mirrors before slowing down coming into the crossroads, which he should have done. Although he's not signalling, he is slowing down and changing speed, so he should be checking behind him first. We're turning left. Coming up to a mini roundabout, we're going to turn right, which is the second exit. I'd like you to pull in just the other side of the parked up van up here, okay? But try and keep all four wheels on the road, don't go onto the pavement. So yeah, anywhere just here is great. Okay, thank you very much. And again, you can move off again whenever you feel safe and ready to do so. Josh is making great observations again here, making sure it's safe to pull away. I think he learnt here from his previous mistake, and he is rechecking his mirrors as he moves off. Unfortunately, he does pull away, leaving the handbrake on. The car does start to warn him, and he does resolve it quickly, so no massive issue, but I have been harsh at giving him a driving fault for use of controls. Turning on the left. And at the traffic lights we're turning right. on to the independent driving section of the test here now.
Okay.
So we're going to do about 15 to 20 minutes of following road signs.
Yeah.
So to start with, I'd like you to follow the road signs towards town centre.
Town centre?
Yeah, it's just labelled as town centre.
Okay.
So as part of your driving test, you are going to be doing about 20 minutes of independent driving. This will either be following road signs or a predetermined route on sat-nav that the examiners bring with them. So expect to be able to do one or the other. Okay, we're now going to follow the road signs towards Stubbington. So if you are following road signs on your test, please look across to the sides of the road into your trees and bushes, because some of them could do with a bit of a trim. Some of these road signs are a little bit hidden. Okay, we're now going to be following the road signs towards Stokes Bay from here. This roundabout is definitely one to watch out for if you are driving in Lee-on-the-Solent. So it's actually signed second exit here, but a lot of people miss out that first initial insignificant exit. So you want to stay in the left-hand lane, don't signal on your approach because it is the second exit. Obviously when it's clear you emerge, stay left, and then signal now once you've passed the first exit to come off. Josh does this beautifully and exits accordingly. He also then notices the change of speed limit on the new road and picks up speed really nicely. when it's safe to do so, could you show me how you would wash and clean the front windscreen, please? Yeah, nicely done, thank you. Now we're going to follow the road signs towards Lee-on-the-Solent. So that's going to be the end of the independent driving section. So I'll continue to give normal instruction from here on in, alright? Okay, so I'd like you to take the next turning on the left, just where the blue sign is there. It goes into a small car park, okay? So we've got quite a few spaces in this car park, left and right. I'd like you to reverse into any available space. Take your pick, which either one you want.
Reverse, yeah.
Yeah, reverse into any available space. Try and finish between the lines. Now Josh is doing a reverse bay park here. He has slightly missed the bay on his first attempt, but he does exactly the right thing in making an adjustment. So his observations throughout this entire manoeuvre were very, very good, constantly aware of his surroundings, but he does fully come back out the bay to readjust and then reverses back in really nicely. He finishes really well inside the bay, but it would go down as a driving fault in a driving test. Okay, you happy with your position?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I'll just have a quick check. Yep, very nice in the bay. Okay, we're going to exit the car park the same way we came in, and then we're going to turn left out onto the main road, okay, whenever you feel safe and ready to do so. Josh does now pull away again, having not fully released his handbrake. He does resolve it immediately, so I thought I'd be kind in this instance. I've already given him one fault for it during the test. I'm not going to give him a second one right there.
Which way am I going?
Left out of the car park, yeah. Josh is just about to pick up another driving fault here. He does recognise that the road's getting narrower and he does adjust his speed well. However, he does get bloody close to this van. Ooh. Not close enough that I felt like I needed to grab the wheel, but he was still pretty tight on that left-hand side, so I've given him a driving fault for clearance. Turning on the right, please. And like I said, the next available turn on the right as well. Because this is a one-way street, Josh should be positioning himself to the right. It's not that wide that anyone can sneak up on his right-hand side, but I have given him a driving fault for position turning right because his position was way to the left. And then like I said, the next turning on the left, please. So this road is pretty much the last road Josh is going to drive down before we head back to the test centre. He does pick up another driving fault here, unfortunately. Now he gets slightly over that speed limit. I don't think he does it on purpose. Some people do think this road is a 40, but there are no extra signs to tell you that. He gets up to about 33 miles an hour, so I've given him a use of speed driving fault. Traffic lights, we're going to be turning left. Josh quite rightly does his initial observations here and his signal goes on. Now this is quite a common driving fault for people to pick up at this point. He comes into traffic and stops at the traffic lights. Now I do whiz the video on a couple of seconds because the traffic lights again take a while. But what Josh should be doing is as he moves off here, he should be rechecking that left mirror as a minimum. You've got cyclists that can come up on that left hand side, and if you don't notice them, it's going to be potentially a little bit more messy. So yeah, you should be checking that left mirror again before turning left. Driving fault because there was no immediate risk, but if he's missed a cyclist there, it's going to go down as a dangerous. Roundabout will turn right, third exit, and just head into the little car park again. Okay, just pull forward into any available space on either side. Final driving fault, Josh does come in really nicely and parks really well. However, he's very late to the clutch, resulting in a bit of a stall and a late brake.
Bloody hell. Alright.
Okay, that's cool. And brake neutral. That's the end of your mock test.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Alright.
Feeling okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so based on that drive there today,
Yeah.
you would have unfortunately been unsuccessful.
Yeah, I know, because of that guy that overtook me and you had to stop the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause you
Yeah.
had to intervene. Yeah, I knew immediately.
So
Yeah.
overall, your drive was really nice.
Yeah, it was
okay?
just that bloody idiot.
Just that
overtook me, yeah.
one thing. What caused that at that point? You'd done your checks initially.
Did I
Everything was
indicate?
good. You didn't indicate.
Yeah,
So you
thought
didn't
so,
tell him
that's
you were
right,
coming
yeah.
away. So as you started
Yeah.
to pull off, he didn't know you were pulling off.
Yes.
And then he came round you at the same time you were moving off.
Yeah.
And then it was
You
safer
know, I
to
thought
stop.
I didn't indicate. That would be
Yeah.
what, there we go, lesson learned.
Yeah.
All good, because it was a mock testing.
Yeah, and this is it. This is
Yeah.
exactly why we do them. So actually, in terms of, if we isolate that situation there,
Yeah.
signal on, and as you're moving, just keep an eye on this mirror
Yeah.
as you're moving off, because if you see him,
just
he's
came out of
approaching reasonably
nowhere,
quick.
really, yeah.
Exactly. So you've done your initial checks, and that was really, really good. But then just as you were moving away, he came flying up. So at that point, because he didn't know you were moving away, he went straight for the overtake, and then we'd already started to move off. So yeah, it felt like we needed to stop and reset at that point. So it's those annoying things where like you know it instantly, and you know it's happened, because you know at that point you're like, shit, I've used the brake, I'm gonna have to so but you refocused and did well for the rest of the test.